Good morning students. Welcome to the class. This is your CGM theory class. Okay. So today I will start a new chapter which is Introduction to Digital Image. Okay. This is your unit in 11, chapter 11. Okay. So let us start in detail. What is digital image? Digital image. Digital image is an image composed of picture elements, also known as pixel, each with finite discrete quantities of numeric representation for its intensity or gray level. That is an output from its 2D function or two-dimensional function fed as input by its spatial coordinates denoted with xy on the x-axis and y-axis respectively. Okay, that means digital image is an image composed of picture elements, which is also known as pixel. Picture elements also known as pixel. Okay, finite or discrete quantities of numeric representation of its intensity. Okay, and which is display in output as 2D form, x and y axis respectively. Okay, so this is known as digital image. So if the question comes in your exam, define digital image, then all of you write these things, this first point only. If the question comes in 2 marks, then all of you write these things. Okay, next, depending on whether the image resolution is fixed, it may be vector or raster type. If the image resolution is fixed, then it may be a vector type or raster type. That means digital image can be divided into two types. One is raster image and another one is vector image. These things also I had told you before in unit 2. Okay, this concept also we have read this, we have studied. Okay, next, by itself the term digital image usually refers to raster image or bitmapped image as opposed to vector images. Okay, that means here the term digital image means it only refers to the raster image or bitmap image. Raster image also known as the bitmap image. Okay, no, not only the vector images. Okay, digital images are composed of tiny amount of informations. The pixel is the unit of measure for a digital image. Okay, one pixel represents a single color. Okay, that means the image which is stored in your computer are stored in a pixel format. Okay, and one pixel represents a single color. Colors are represented in hexadecimal value or RGB and other identification schemes also. Okay, then pixels are identified by their location within the coordinate grid. Okay, and also it will store or identified by their location within the coordinate grid. That means XY coordinate grid. Okay, so this is your concept of digital image. Next we will discuss about the vector image or vector graphics. A vector image is a collection of connected lines and curves that produce object. Okay, vector images collection of connected lines and curves. When creating a vector image in a vector illustration program, node or drawing points are inserted which line and curves connect those together. That means all the nodes or all the points are inserted which lines and curves are connected those points. Okay, this is the same principle as connect the dots. Each node, line and curve is defined in the drawing by the graphic software by a mathematical description. Okay, and each node, line and curve, all of this define in a different types of graphic software by using a mathematical description. Okay, every aspects of a vector object is defined by math, included node position, node location, line length and on down the line. That means the aspect ratio or aspect of the vector object is defined by mathematical equations, where it includes node position, node location and line length. Okay, three and four things included. One is node position, second one is node location, third one is line length. Okay, and also down the line. Next is text objects are created by connecting nodes, lines and curves. Text objects are created by using the node, line and curve. Okay, every letter in a font start out as a vector object. That means every text or every letter start out as a vector object. Okay, vector images are object oriented while raster images are pixel oriented. That means here vector images are object oriented, raster images are pixel oriented. That means in the raster images means this one is your bitmap images. Okay, in a vector object, colors are like clothes over the top of a skeleton. That means vector object are the skin of a skeleton or colors of a skeleton. Okay, CorelDRAW, Illustrator create text and object using vectors that can be easily manipulated. Okay, vector images are defined by math, not pixel. They can scaled off or down without any loss of quality. But in the raster images, some qualities are also lost. Okay, when an illustration drawing program size a vector image up or down, it simply multiples the mathematical description of the object by a scaling factor. If we draw a program or illustrate a program, the vector image either up or down, it simply multiples different mathematical description of the object by a scaling factor. That means when we decrease the size, then we or increase the size, we use the mathematical description either multiplying this or multiplying this the scaling factor. Okay, the math is simply recalculated to produce an object twice the object of the original. That means if we increase the size twice, then we simply recalculate the mathematical description. Okay, because vector images scale up or down without loss of image quality. They can be output at any resolution that a printer is capable of producing. Okay, unlike raster images, quality is not limited by dots per inch or scanning resolution. Okay, dots per inch means that one is your in raster images. In vector images, the quality is not limited. Okay, which one is your dots per inch option? Okay, this is a big reason that vector graphics are so popular for clip art. Since vector images are composed of objects, not pixel, you can change the color of individual objects without worrying about individual pixel. Okay, that means here you here vector images are composed of objects, not pixel. If we change the color of the individual object, then the image's color is changed. Okay, without changing the individual pixel. Color vectors, coloring vector objects is similar to coloring with crayons in a coloring book. A simple form. When you draw a image and color this in your crayon colors. Okay. A drawing program will enable a user to click inside an object and define its color. Okay. And also enable a user to define the color and width of a line. Here also we define a color and pick on that object and define the color and width of the lines. Okay, coloring vector images is much easier than coloring bitmaps. Vector images do not need to keep track each individual pixel in an image, only mathematical description. Here it will not store the individual pixel location, it will store the mathematical description. Okay, for this reason vector files are very small in size. Vector files are composed of long mathematical description dictating every aspect of graphics. This is all about of this is all about of vector graphics. This one is one example of vector graphics. Here only point, line and curves are different nodes are there and we connect these nodes and draw these lines. Okay. This is one image of the vector graphics or vector image. Next we discuss about raster graphics. Raster image is a collection of dots called pixel. Okay. Each pixel is a tiny colored square. When an image is scanned, the image is converted to a collection of pixels called a raster image. That means vector graphics are the collection of nodes, lines, curves, but raster image is a collection of dots. The dots are known as pixel and each pixel is a colored square like this. This portion only we analyze this and view this, and here you see all of you see this. Here small squares are there and each square is a one color, contains one color. Okay. Scan graphic and web graphics, which is JPG or GIF file, are most common form of raster image. The resolution of raster or scan image is expressed in terms of dots per inch or DPI. The higher the DPI, the better the resolution. If the dots per inch is higher, then the resolution is better. If the dots per inch is lower, then the resolution is not better. Okay. Typically laser printer print 300 to 600 dots per inch. The output quality of a printing device is dependent upon the resolution of a bitmap or scan. Okay. Raster images do not scale up very well. When scanning a raster image, a large number of colors will be required to render a raster image reproduction of the original source artwork accurately. That means when you scanning the raster image, a large number of colors will be required. Okay. The larger the image, the more disk space the image file will take up. That means if the image size is larger, then it can occupy the more memory space. But in vector graphics it is not. Okay, so This is one picture of a raster graphics, how it look like this. So that's all in this class. In the next class we will discuss another thing. Okay, thank you.